Hello, everyone. What you learn when you just listen when doing rideshare. Um, as you all know, or you may not know because this may be your first time listening to me. I used to do rideshare. I did many rides, drove through many cities, many different type of weather, different hiccups, positive rides, sprinkle a few negative rides in there. However, I did a lot of listening, and this was due to the clients that I had in my backseat. They always had something that they wanted to share. And one of the things that I came away with, pardon me, was that people like to talk about themselves. And in talking about themselves, they will tell you about their day and other life situations that will have you being happy when they get out of your vehicle. And the reason that you're happy, not just because you have your own vehicle, not because you're being a service of people, but it's because you got a lesson that allowed you to keep things in perspective, to still be realistic, and still have a positive attitude. There were times that I would hop behind the wheel, and sometimes I would feel fatigue, not from a physical standpoint, more so just from like a negative standpoint. And I wasn't really up to driving, but after getting my mind right, gathering my thoughts, understanding what the main objective was, I was able to move forward. And in moving forward, I knew that, hey, when you do these 12 hours or these 8 hours, depending on the day, time of the year, I already knew that I was going to be doing an abundance of listening. Listening. So when I would pick up my client, I would always be prepared to listen. So I would always start off the ride like, hey, how was your day? And that would always be the information that the client would need to hear to, get their foot in the door. Because they would tell me like, hey, my day was hell, my day was hectic, my boss get on my nerves, I'm quitting this job. And that would always lead to, before I could even ask them, hey, well, why you want to quit your job, or why are you going to quit your job? They would just get into telling me. Some of the clients that I had, they were just tired of being at their job. Their main reason for being there was due to needing a source of income, and they were kind of just burnt out. Others were tired of their job. They enjoyed the job, what they did for a living, but it was outside factors that they had to bring with them to work, i.e., being in a marriage that is, past the happy stage, and the wife is getting on the husband's nerves, or the husband is getting on the wife's nerves. And then you had the clients that they weren't married, but they were like cohabitating. So they had to deal with that, having a person in your house that you don't want, then coming to a job that you like, with you in meetings all day, or it requires a lot out of you. Let's say that you're a person that's in sales, or you're a business owner, and you have badass employees that do not want to work and just call in and think that they should still get paid. Yes, it is going on like that, folks. It was moons ago, many moons ago, when I was doing rideshare, and that still is the case. And would just listen from doing rideshare, I was like, some people must think that there's a money tree out there. Like, we can just go to this location and extend our hands, and pocket full of money is just going to fall from the sky. And that just isn't the case. I mean, there were parents that got in my backseat and told me they were going to have to kick their kid out. They weren't a kid, like they just turned 18. Most parents don't want to send their son or their daughter out there in the world if they're not financially ready, or if they don't think they'll be able to deal, or if they think they'll have to come right back home. But it hits different. Not that I know, because again, I don't have any children, but These clients would share stories about their grown ass kid that just turned 18 that did not want to work. I mean, that's like, and a part of me wanted to look at the parents like they did something wrong, but not necessarily. That wasn't always the case. I even had one parent just flat out said that her daughter was lazy and all she wanted to do was be an influencer. And that same client told me that the son just wanted to run the streets, said he didn't want to work for the man. I mean, I didn't really have much to say. Again, I was just listening. And when that client hopped out of my vehicle, I was like, that's interesting. They will eventually work. They will eventually work on the verge of getting kicked out, or if they think they're gonna be out on the street. And this is after they is all staying with families and friends. Because people don't really like people staying with them like that, even if you family. And if you family, depending on what community you in, they really don't like that. And who don't want to have their own space? Who wants to live with somebody? But I understand they probably just haven't done enough living yet. But like I told my client at the time, things will get better for all parties. And that's just what I believe. I mean, and then I've always thought health was something serious. Mental health and physical health, being in shape, being at peace with yourself, and being in the right state of mind. And when you have a client hop in your car and goes off about inflation, how inflation is high, and talking to me as if I have the answers, like asking rhetorical questions like, could you believe the price of inflation? People losing their jobs. And I would just say yes. And the client would just continue to vent, saying that it ain't fair. Some men would say that they were tired of working. Some women were saying they were tired of working and they need a sugar daddy. I always thought that was facetious. Who's to blame for that? But what I did learn is that I would never want to be in that state where I don't want to work. Like I want someone to take care of me. Because if someone is taking care of you, depending on the context of it, they have power over you. No money, you can't make no moves. That's never going to change. No matter how good you can talk, depending on how good you can talk your way into some things. Or how good you can cook. Everyone always gonna like to eat, so that can be a business opportunity. However, money has to continue to come in. It has to, money is a currency, so it has to continue to flow. And that's the same as every ride that I had. These experiences just continue to flow through the mouth of my clients, reminding me there's things for me to be grateful for, reason to continue to have a strong work ethic. What happens when you choose the wrong mate, or what happened when life happens. I remember one time a client hopped in my car and she had just quit her job and she was saying F them and F that and they had her F'd up. Now I didn't ask her because again, I'm just listening. And plus it's really none of my business. It's none of my business, but I was wondering, well, what's your backup plan? But she did say she had something else lined up. So I was happy for her. But that's what I learned from just listening. I mean, some of these things are common sense. But it's different when you have someone else get in your car that you don't know And it's more than one person, more than one race, more than one gender. Like it's not just the man. It's the man going through something. It's the woman going through something. It's the couples going through something. It's crazy. It's wild. And you all can let me know. Anyone that does ride share in any shape or form. Or you can be a person that don't do ride share. You can just be a person that drive around from time to time, and you may drive your friends around or your family. When you just listen, I'm sure you all have learned a lot. I'm sure you all have learned a lot. Just let me know. I just wanted to bring this to you all today. Just let you all know that when you're doing ride share, you will learn a lot when you listen. So like, share, and subscribe. And you all take care. Talk to you all later. Peace.